Namaste friends, and I hope you're doing well. I'm going to talk about the Sun and Rahu in the first house, a little bit on the essence of it. But before that, a little caveat or a little understanding that you should have is these videos may not reflect your charts, okay? Because your chart is unique by itself, but it provides a foundation, a very solid foundation for you to start off analyzing it, okay? But this is not the ultimate. It may or may not reflect in your chart, okay? The Sun is the personification of your intrinsic energy, okay? When at the time of your birth you were given some powers, or rather some core feelings, I would say, for you to start exploring the world, okay? It's like some fuel for you to move on into this Janma, into this birth. That is essentially the Sun. The Sun as energy. It's the source of your potent powers, okay? The Rahu is it's very much against the personality of the Sun. The Sun is very sattvic. Its core is dharma, okay, righteousness, benevolence, and stuff like that. All the good things. But of course, Sun is a mild benefic, which is something different. But in this context, the Sun is represented as the core, right? The core, the supreme, the pure. Rahu, on the other hand, is Rahu's personality is he has one intention in his mind, that is to make sure that you will be born again in this material world. Okay, and what does that mean? To be born again, there is a process called samskara. Okay, samskara is like the process of death, rebirth, and that process is a cycle. Okay, so in Vedic understanding, being born in this material plane means it's a sinful thing. Okay, you have done some sin, or you have something which is that you must, or residual action that you must take forward. Okay, so that is the reason why you need to be born, and you need to complete your task which you have left from the previous birth. Or you have done something really bad and you must be paid. You must learn the mistakes that you are doing. So this topic can get lengthy. In essence, people say it's karma and stuff like that. So karma is generally very loosely used term. Anyways, so Rahu's job is to make sure that you remain in this groove of sins. Okay, so you commit all the sins so that he will make sure that you will be born again. Okay, that's his primary function, and it's a sin to be born again. Okay, and which is why Rahu is malefic in many sense. Okay, but here's the thing. Now, assuming that you want to make it big, okay, you want to earn a lot, you want to be successful with the intention that you want to help people. Okay, you want to be a philanthropist. That is why you're earning. You don't want anything for yourself, but you want to help the people who really need it. Now that has dharma into it. So you can use Rahu as a tool for you to achieve your dharmic reasons. So, let's not go too much into that. Now that you understand what's the function of Rahu and Sun, the first house is the house of dharma, okay, which is again ruled by the Sun. Sun has good vibrations on the first house. The first house shows that your feelings as a personality. Okay, what sort of DNA structure that has been embedded in your body? How do you behave in this birth? Because the first house is the starting point, right? That's where it starts off. So the first house, when you look at it, you can see what sort of available strength this person has, what sort of bodily or physical strength this person has, which again shows you the vitality and health, what sort of mental personality traits this person has. So all these things will tell an astrologer who this person really is and what is he or she will perform, or rather at least predict to great accuracy what this person will perform in future. So now you have the Sun, Rahu, and the first house. And what happens if these three gets together? Okay, the Sun and Rahu decides to reside in the first house. Let's look at that. This can be a very simple understanding. What happens is your process of seeking dharma or truth, right, or righteousness, benevolence, and all that will be somewhat distorted by the idea of Rahu, because Rahu is again something which is adharmic. It's against dharma. He doesn't really believe that there's such thing as truth and benevolence. What he's very concerned, or what he's really interested, is how can you make a lot of money, how can you live the fast life, how can you expand yourself into greatness in the material world, right? How can you grow up in your social status and all that. He's not concerned about truth, or the next life, or the understandings of spirituality and all that. He's really not concerned. So Sun is sort of direct opposite. Sun takes pride in the truth and just. So these are colliding. Both of these are reverse polarities. Okay, so they will create a personality of confusion. Okay, normally people having this, people who will be like. Take very drastic decisions. Okay, they will be really successful, and one fine day they say, okay, I don't want any of this. Okay, I want to go back to the nature, to the essence. Okay, I want to go and sit in some jungle and start to connect to myself within. Okay, and these things happen in a very sudden way, because Rahu is a lot of suddenness. Okay, so I'm sure you would have seen people like that. They reach in a very high status. And it can be the other way around as well. They'll be very spiritual in their nature, but one fine day they'll just chuck everything away. Says religion is rubbish, spirituality is imaginary. They'll just throw it under the rug, and they'll start to move on in the material world. Okay, so there is this drastic changes going on with these people having this conjunction. They are always thinking what's the next thing to do in a very wide and open scope. They do not make changes in a small way. They make changes in a very magnificent way. All right. Of course, it depends to the positions of Rahu and the Sun and how much is afflicted. The strength of the Sun. Of course, the Sun takes precedence, but you have to also see what sort of power the Sun has, what sort of influence Rahu is giving in. How close is it, and stuff like that is in. But on a very solid foundation, I can say that these people will be having huge dreams, huge goals and aspiration in life, but they will be always confused at the time when it comes for them to take the first step to start their endeavor. They'll be confused. They will make the wrong choice. Okay, so it is very important that these people will need to have guidance from gurus, guidance from saints who will give them good sense on how to strike the balance between the material world and the world of truth, of dharma. Okay, at times these people, and I'm sure you've seen these individuals, they portray as if they are very helpful, they are very caring. But at the end of the day, they are just looking for an opportunity to take whatever that you have. Okay, these people can be very devious in their nature. They are very selfish, and what they carry along them is false pride. Okay, they assume that by having all these things in my hand, by having riches, by having a fancy car or a big house and all this, creates the illusion within them that people will start to like me. Okay, people will have to give me respect for what I have. They sort of go out to the world and tell them, look, I have all these things and I demand respect. Okay, they anticipate. Okay, and this anticipation is gonna kill them one day. It's gonna ruin. It's gonna make them fall very, very, very badly one day, because once somebody anticipates, even in a small level, even if you expect a thanks, and if you don't receive it, that's going to cause a friction in your emotional state, right? But if you have that anticipation in a bigger scale, and you can imagine how much effect it's going to cause you emotionally, because most of the time, let's face it, you expect something and it didn't happen, which is why in spiritual studies they said expectation is a sin. Okay, what we have to do really is to hope. Hope has more benign ways of receiving things. Okay, so people who have Sun and Rahu in the first will be also very, they have this huge expectation, and that creates a lot of enemies. Okay, they simply pick fight with people. They get very exasperated when things don't go their way. When they feel that they're supposed to get this way, but if they don't get it, then they get very annoyed, very frustrated, and that also creates a lot of mental and psychological issues as well. Alright, so that's a little bit about what I think Sun and Rahu will do in the first house. I'm going to stop here right now, so do stay tuned, and if you're new to my channel, do subscribe. There's more videos to come, and till the next time, thank you. Namaste.